Kia ora koutou e homa. How is everybody? It's an absolutely miserable day here in South Island of New Zealand. Welcome to my cash stuffing. This is a weekly cash stuffing, but it's also a bit special because this is the 4-month mark of me doing cash envelopes for 4 months, and I'm going to do things a little bit backwards. This is my savings binder. I usually start by stuffing my variable expenses, but we're going to start here because I did a little bit of spending over the weekend online shopping for Christmas for my kids. I shopped the farmer's toy sale. If you know, you know. I also bought some stuff from Mitre 10. So I need to take this money out to put it in the bank, and my thinking was I could take my regular cash stuffing money out and then go back to the bank and deposit this, or I could just save myself a whole trip and do this condensing and withdraw what I needed to out of my envelopes and use that for cash stuffing. So it became a little bit complicated, but I did myself a little post-it, and I think this is going to work. It's definitely going to be more convenient. Let's have a count of what's in here. We've got 50, 20, start again. I'm going to put that 50 aside because it's stuffing me up. Third time lucky. 20, 40, 60, 80, 1, 20, 40, 60, 70, 80, 95, 245. And I've been keeping a little record on the back. So I spent 20, 40, 60, 130 at Farmers, and I also spent 2, 4, 6, 80 at Mitre 10. So that leaves me 10, 20, 35. I'm actually going to swap those out. I'm just going to pop this money in here for a moment. So I've got 20, 35, and my tracker is full. So I actually started another one. Originally I wanted to save 700, but I know I've spent just under half of that. So now my new goal to save by the end of November is 360, and my opening balance is 35. So I can put that aside and put the money in here. And I'm just going to put my new tracker in the front to keep me accountable. The other thing was emergency savings. I have some in the bank, but in cash I have 51, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 65, 75, 175. And if I add that to what's in the bank, I have 510. So I'm going to take my handy dandy, shiny $500 placeholder and a $10 note, and I'm going to put this back in, and then this is going to be deposited into my savings account. Well, it's actually going to be used for my cash stuffing, and when I get my income this week, I'm going to digitally transfer that money over. So that just saves me a trip to the bank, as I said. Although it took a wee while to get my head around what the heck I was doing. Since we're in here and we've condensed those two, we might as well have a look at the other ones. Kids Savings has $50 in there. This is the long-term plan, 10, 20, 30, 40, 45, 50. so it doesn't need to be in small notes. I'll make that a 50. $22 deposits. This is of course my change jar, and I did change some of the money into notes, mostly so that I didn't have to worry every week about trying to source $5 notes. So I'm actually going to do the reverse here. I'm going to take a 10 and put in those 2 5s, because $5 notes are really hard to, well, I haven't found an ATM that is free to me to get $5 notes out. So sit that there. The beauty envelope has 35, so I could 2035. I'm letting that build up. I would really like to do an online order of some Eco Store moisturizers and stuff, but I'll wait for it to get a bit bigger. Clothing. We have 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. That could be a 50. Hobbies. Spent a little bit out of this. I'm probably going to leave it. Oh no, I could get a 10. I've spent a bit on supplies, and I'm working hard behind the scenes to do some cash envelopes. I've opened a shop on Felt, which is the New Zealand version of Etsy, and by the time this video goes live I might have something up, so go check out the description box below. I will put the link there if the shop is live. Otherwise it will probably be the weekend. Giving, I saw a guy waiting for housing. I mean, this is not a new story for a lot of us, eh? I think people fall through the cracks, and it's really distressing to see how it affects people's mana, their wairoa, their sense of self, you know. I just could really tell that this guy was, you know, like he hadn't given up on himself, but he just felt really stink about having to sit on the street. And he didn't want my money so much as he just wanted to have a chat. So I spent some time with him, and I ended up giving him $5 and said, look, buy a pie, you know, lunch is on me. The Miscellaneous Fund, this is sort of the start of the seed of having a fund for myself to just be able to take up opportunities as they arise. Just going to condense that a wee bit. I've got $40 there. My aim is 150. All right, so that's just condensed down those envelopes a wee bit. Now we'll have a look at what I spent over the week, and we'll stuff my envelopes for next week. So I've already put down there that I spent $210 online, so I've taken that money out. I've also taken out of my emergency savings, $165. Yeah, $165 to go to the bank. Right. So let's have a wee look through. I don't think that's going to stand up for me. Have a wee look through and see if I've got any leftovers. Surprise, surprise, nothing in groceries. I think it was $160 last week, and I spent that. Fuel, I had that fuel card, which is nice. Cafe still has 10, 15, 20, 25. Ooh. I think I'll leave it like that actually. takeaways is all spent, and we won't be stuffing that for a wee while. Instead, we are giving to the self-denial appeal, which is in my other folder. Household has got 20, and kids fun. I saved $95 for the school holidays. Tried to spend it. We went to the movies, and my lovely granddad came, and he wouldn't let me pay. He's a beautiful man. He's a beautiful man. Not just because he paid for that. Yeah, we're really grateful to have him in our neighbourhood, in our area. I'm going to leave that $50 there. I've got some plans for that, and I'll let you in on where that's going to go next week, or some of that's going to go next week. So I've just got $2 there. Let's stuff this. So $160 to groceries, $50. Let's do 10, 20, 30, 40, 60 to groceries. I noticed when I was in the grocery shop, or the supermarket, the teller was looking at my $5 note, like trying to work out, like holding it up to the light and stuff. And I don't know, I thought that was amusing. I'm like, if I was a forger, I wouldn't forge a $5 note. I'd be going for something bigger, Do you want to get into trouble over $5 or 50? I don't know, that's just how my brain works. Fuel, will get its regular 40 this week. 20, 40. Cafe's not getting stuffed. Takeaways, as I said, is going somewhere else. Household will get $5. Ooh. Sorry, distraction. Kids fun, we're going to leave at the moment. Let's move over to savings challenges. So this week, emergency's just going to get another 10, $5 there. So we have 515. Christmas and birthdays, I'm going to give it $10 or $45. So why don't we do 45 like that? Why not? The kids are going to get a $5 note. $4.55. Hold on. I think I'm going to take that little bit of change out of hobbies. I don't know why, but I don't particularly enjoy having change in these envelopes. Anyway, we'll go with it. So 22 deposits is going to get 2, 3, 5, 20. And I'm on to week 16. So just 6 weeks, 6 weeks to go. Get my calculator this time so I don't stuff it up. 96 plus 5. It's pretty easy though. Woohoo, we've done 101.60. 101 bucks for just saving my change every week for 16 weeks. All right, so that's that. Beauty, I'm going to give $10. No, I'm going to do 2 10s. So that's got 45 now. Clothing is going to get 20 for 70. Hobbies is going to get 5. So now we have 20. Giving, I'm skipping, but I'm putting $10 in the self-denial peel for this week. It's kind of our takeaways money. And finally, my miscellaneous fund is going to get another 10, so I can do another element. Okay, so I've got 40, now I have 50, so I'm 1/3 of the way towards my target. Hopefully that's dry enough. Oh well. That is all. Oh, I better give this a bit of a count just to make sure I did my math correctly. I think I have $95 to put back in the bank. And of course I'm going to be getting my income in so that I can move stuff around electronically and make sure that my emergency savings is going to get the 165 so that it's at $500 balance, which reflects in with my placeholder. Anyway, let's do a bit of a count. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 91, 110, 20, 35, 45, 145. Okay, did you figure out what I did? Yeah, it took me far too long to realise that I'd done too much talking and missed $50 out of my grocery, which I would have noticed. So I have 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 110, and I should have 160, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. So now we're all square. Geez, this week was a bit more confusing. So I ended up second guessing myself and counting up all the envelopes and not looking at the obvious thing, which was I didn't stuff enough. So let's have a recount. We should have $95 going back to the bank. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 5, 95, $95, which doesn't seem like a lot. There's been a lot of ins and outs and comings and goings. I'm off camera going to do a little bit of a tot up of all my sinking funds online, my digital funds online, and I'll be back later in the week to give you kind of an overall snapshot of what I've managed to save and how I've managed to do that within 4 months. But for now, kia ora, thank you for watching. Like and subscribe if you feel drawn to do that. I will see you again soon. Bye.